everybody and welcome to my March TBR video. For March I have prepared, actually this is for more than just March, but I've prepared a whole jar full of TBR prompts and also some book titles that I really want to get into. So I put quite a few things on there. I think there's like probably like over 30. So this is gonna definitely last me longer than March, but we're just gonna pick 5 books for March because I already started one, Cold Case Academy 2 or The Naturals 2, and so we're gonna pick the remaining 5 out of this jar together and then read them together. So let me just get started right away, I guess. I'm gonna mix them a little bit more. I actually did this last night, so I don't remember exactly what I put in there or like where exactly they are. So I'm just gonna pick the first one. Okay, next part in a series is number 1. I'll just put them aside and then we'll pick together. A book with a green cover. That's gonna be interesting. I got all of these from Pinterest, and when I saw green cover I was like, I don't have any green covers, but I actually think I have 2, so we still get to choose between 2. Okay, Harry Potter 3. A book over 500 pages. Okay, I was actually hoping I was not gonna get this because over 500 pages is a lot, but I have something in mind for this that I think is over 200 pages because it's a thick book. So maybe that's gonna be the one. And then the last one already. Legendary. Okay, wait. Yeah, that works out because I put Legendary and Finale in there, not thinking that I could pick Finale before Legendary, but now I've picked the second part of the Carol trilogy. So these are our 5 picks. Alright, so these are the 5 books for March. We have Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo as next part in the series because I just recently read The Ninth House. Green cover, we have The Housemaid by Frida McFadden, which I have been looking forward to reading so much, and this is one of 2 green covers that I have, but this one has more green, so I picked this one. Then Harry Potter 3, obviously, Harry Potter the Prisoner of Azkaban. Then, fitting with this one, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire actually has over 500 pages, so I picked this one to kind of read after this. And then we have Legendary, that was also picked already. So that's a pretty good selection. I think I'm very excited to read all of them, and let's get to reading. Good morning. So last night I finished Cold Case Academy Part 2, which I talked about in my February TBR, and I messed up the order of these books. I didn't film me reading this because I was almost done. And honestly, I'm sadly a little bit disappointed because the case that they're solving, it was kind of predictable, and it just kept getting like, there's like things stacked on top of each other and then one more and one more and one more, and it wasn't like not believable or anything, but it was just kind of getting to a point where you could predict what the next thing would be. I also expected a little bit more drama because there's like, I read Goodreads reviews on this obviously, and there was this, oh, are you team this character or team this character, and I was like, there's not really like a decision because Cassie, the main character, kind of decides for herself which team she is, I guess. So it's not really a surprise decision, and also I was kind of rooting for that character, and I also expected it because, I don't know, I just did. So yeah, this book, Cold Case Academy 2 or The Naturals 2, is 3 stars for me, which is still good. I would still recommend this, but it's just not my favorite book. Okay, and then moving on to Hellbent, which is part 2 of Leigh Bardugo's The Ninth House. First of all, both of these covers, Hellbent and Ninth House, are so beautiful, and this just looks so interesting, like with the rabbit and the red eye and everything. I'm obsessed. I think this one is a tiny bit shorter than the first one, and I am actually looking forward to reading this so much because I've been thinking about what's going on since I stopped reading the other book, Ninth House. So I really cannot wait to get into this, and we're gonna start right now. So in the second part, there's actually a map of like the Yale University and the town they're in. And that's so helpful because I had no idea where all of the stuff was. It's very small, and I've had to look for the hut, which is right here, like number 8. I've had to look for ages because it is very, very small, but it's so helpful because now I actually like know what's going on. And I think this right here is the like place that was one of the crime scenes in the first book, I think. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's so helpful. Just got to page 400 and something, 410 I think, in Hellbent, and I think I'm being a little bit unfair to the book because right now I'm just not like extremely in a reading mood. It took me 2 weeks to get to page 400, which is fine. I still very much enjoyed it. It's not as good as the first one because what happened in the beginning of the first book, and I don't know, just Darlington and Alex, like the interaction and what the two like did together, like their tasks and everything, that just was more interesting to me than what's happening in the second part. But it's also very interesting, and there's like some new characters introduced and some people get like a little more, not screen time, but like you see or you read more of them, which is very interesting. Sorry, the dog's grumpy napping today. But anyways, I'm gonna keep reading. There's only, I think, 150 pages or something like that left. Yeah, I think it's like 560 overall. So yeah, so far so good. It's not, as I said, not as good as the first one, but still very good. So I very much enjoyed, and I've seen that there's a third part coming out, and I also saw that there's, I think, an Amazon Prime or Disney Plus show, definitely not Netflix, so one of the other show providers, there's gonna be a show of the books, or at least the first book, so I'm very excited for that because I think it would be so interesting to actually see what the author visualized, all of the like people and the settings and everything, because apparently she worked on the show like quite hands-on, like she was involved in the writing process, which is always a good sign for me. But yeah, so let's keep reading. I just finished Hellbent, 4 stars. It was really good, not as good as the first one, I've mentioned this before, but I just enjoyed like the world building and the stuff that happened in the first part a bit more. But I do think the like world expansion, I guess, is very interesting, and excuse me. And I was watching Supernatural while reading the book, well, not at the same time, but like in the same week, and I think it's so interesting how similar, like, I guess, creatures, like fantasy creatures, act and are portrayed, and how like different they are, but also the similarities. I think it's so interesting, and it makes you think, I think. And next I'm gonna be starting The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I've been so excited to start reading this. This is a green cover book, obviously. My sister already read this and she said she finished it in a day, so it's, I guess, very fast paced, we'll see. But I'm gonna start this right now and I'm very excited, so let's get into it. So I started The Housemaid earlier today and I'm almost a third, I guess, done already. I'm on page 150, I think. 145. It's very fast paced and it's very interesting. The feeling that it gives me, like the way I'm feeling while I'm reading this, is very uncomfortable. Obviously, if you read like just a couple of pages, you know what I'm talking about. And I also have to say, I don't sympathize, is that what it's called? I don't sympathize with the main character, Millie, at all. Because I don't know why, but I think if I would meet her in real life, I would think she would be really annoying. Obviously, the stuff that happens, horrible. Hate all the other characters too, basically. But I don't like the main character too. And what's really weird, what gave me like kind of, I don't know, I couldn't comprehend it for a second. My dog is named Millie, and then I was watching Supernatural right before I started reading this, and obviously that's the Winchesters, and the family here is also called Winchesters, yeah. So that's kind of weird that there's 2 names that are in my life right now in this book. But yeah, I'm just gonna probably finish this today or tomorrow because it is so fast. I'll let you know how I like the whole story once I've finished it. Good morning. I've been meaning to film myself reading The Housemaid, but I couldn't because I continued halfway last night and I could not stop myself from like keeping on reading because it was just so good. I needed to know what happened. I couldn't stop, so I just devoured the remaining 200 pages, as I said, at night at like 10 at night, so I didn't film anything. But this was so good. 4 stars. It was so interesting, and there were a couple of plot twists that I really did not see coming. Like one of them you start to suspect, I guess, over halfway, like past the halfway mark in the book, but the other ones, very good. I do have to say, I don't think that it's super like thrilling. Like I wasn't scared for anybody, or I wasn't like, there wasn't like a time crunch element or anything, but just, how can I say this without spoilers, how crazy people really are in this book is just crazy. But yeah, as I've mentioned, 4 stars. And then the next book I'll be starting is Legendary. I know this isn't the correct order of the TBR that we picked, but I think this one's gonna be quicker than both the Harry Potter ones, because I think both of the Harry Potter ones have around 500 pages, and this one 494. But anyways, I'm gonna do Legendary next. Just because I feel like reading this more. What I've heard so far is that this is like the sister's perspective, Donatella. That's all I know so far. And I think the world here is really interesting. I don't understand all of it. Oh, okay, so there's a different map in the front. The first one, I don't remember what it was called. But this one, like this town is called Valinda. Okay, that's interesting, because in the first one, there was like a lot of bridges, like almost like Venice, I think. And I just wasn't sure where they were, so maybe this is gonna be different. It looks like there's also some like skyline thing. Like I think they're power lines, but they could be something else. It's gonna be interesting. But yes, I'm gonna start this today. I'm also gonna see if they have it as an audiobook, so I can read and listen kind of at the same time. Because I do have a lot of things to do this week. But anyways, starting up next, Legendary. Finished Legendary. I actually listened to probably the second half of the book as an audiobook, just because I didn't have that much time to actually read the physical copy. But let's take a moment for the cover again. It's so beautiful. This book, honestly, it didn't disappoint me, but I was expecting a little bit more. I really liked the fates plot, like that part of the plot. I really enjoyed that. I think the legend reveal at the end wasn't spectacular or unexpected. I saw it coming from like long before, but that was fun, I guess. I am intrigued what the next part is gonna bring, like where else the plot is gonna go, because now I don't want to spoil anything, but there's people that are gone and there's people that are back. And I'm just very interested to see who else will come back or go away. Let's put it this way. But yeah, it's 3 stars for me. I think the first one was 4 stars, I don't remember, but I am excited to start Finale. I just didn't love it as much as the first one, because I think that in the first book, the like actual Caraval was kind of more of the plot, and this one was like there were a couple of, I guess, subplots that also took up quite a big chunk of the book, but it was still good. Instead of starting Harry Potter, I've actually decided I'm gonna go with my mood, honestly, because Harry Potter are books that I want to read when I feel like it, because I want to really enjoy them. Because what's the point of reading Harry Potter, especially if you don't enjoy it? So I'm gonna be reading Olivia Blake's The Atlas Six next, because that's just more my like vibe, my mood right now. Yeah, so that's gonna be the 5th book, I think, for March. I don't have it with me right now, but I'll get started on it very soon. I'm also gonna listen to like a bit of it, because it is on Spotify for free, which is always great. But yeah, the only thing that I don't like about Spotify, like audiobooks, I guess there's no like audiobook category, but it is like an album that's an audiobook, is that you can't change the speed, because I did listen to Legendary on I think 1.5 speed, just because that's like more my like reading, talking, thinking speed, because it is quite slow. But yeah, let's start The Atlas Six next. So it's the last day of March already, which means I didn't finish the Atlas Six, but I just wanted to show you how beautiful these like chapter pages are. There's so many different illustrations. They are absolutely stunning. So far I've really enjoyed. I've been listening to a part of it and then also reading a part of it, and it's so interesting to me, and I'm very excited to keep going. This one's definitely gonna be a higher rating, but obviously no final rating yet. And this also is, I think, a trilogy. So we have the Atlas 6 as the first part, the Atlas Paradox is number 2, and then the Atlas Complex is number 3. All of the covers look absolutely stunning. This one is so pretty, and I'm so excited for the next parts. I'm interested if they will also have these illustrations, because I am obsessed. I've never had a book with illustrations like this before, so it's very beautiful. And also I got this used, and I don't know why, but it just adds to the feel of the book, that the pages are like used, you know, so you can tell that somebody has read through it, and it's like not like new and pressed and like clean and everything. Obviously it's so clean, but anyways, I am really enjoying this. So this is gonna be the end of my March TBR video. I have absolutely lost track of what I read this month, because it's been so like scattered all over the place, and also because I've been listening to audiobooks like partially, and obviously I have everything in Goodreads, and then I also have my little like Notion thing that I made where I keep track of everything, but I don't have that in my brain right now. But anyways, if you read any of the books, let me know how you enjoyed them, or if you have similar books to any books that I like read here and rated good, which is all of them. Let me know if there's any similar books that you would recommend, because I feel like I'm finally starting to like find like the genre that I like kind of like this and 9000 Hellbent and like that direction. I did recently buy a romantasy, it's called The Fallen Princess or something, and I think I might already regret buying that, because I think romantasy is not really my vibe. I think I like this type of fantasy more, and I'm also listening to The Cruel Prince right now, and that like world and how it is set up and like all of that I really enjoy. And I don't enjoy the romance part that much, because I think sometimes, or maybe I just read the wrong books, but sometimes it can be kind of like cheesy, I guess, and I think that's sad, because like, you know, you're in this amazing world that the world building took so long, and then you're like, okay, yeah, it's just gonna be a cheesy romance scene. So I think I don't really enjoy romantasy, but I'm definitely still gonna read that romantasy book and let you know what I think. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.